Welcome to episode 74 of A Message From. We are your hosts. I'm Edward.
And I'm Alyson.
And we are not together, which is very evident, and it feels a little weird to record without you.
It does. We got used to it after so long of recording alone.
Yeah. Like over a month? About a month. No.
Yeah.
About 2 months.
Yeah. Wild.
Has it really been almost 2 months?
Yes, it has. It's almost the end of July. I can't even comprehend that in my brain.
I know. We need to call out a few things.
We do.
A few elephants in the room, which are, I'm clearly not I'm in my grandfather's, which explains this whole situation that if you're on YouTube watching this, you can see. For those of you who are not on YouTube, we're just in your ears and not in your eyes. It's like my uncle's old room that just has like a bunch of crap in it over the years. There's like books that my grandmother read back there. There's like fake poinsettias here. I
love a fake plant.
It's just, there's a lot going on. So there's that.
I also have an elephant that I need to call out. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, this is going to be...
The video viewers are going to love this.
Oh, I don't know what this is going to be.
If you've been hearing any snorts, this is why. We have a special guest with us today. His name's Oliver.
Oliver's been on the podcast at least.
Camera debut. He looks a little nervous, but...
oh, you can't hear me, can you?
It's his first time on camera, so...
Alyson can't hear me
because
she's snorts.
It's from him.
I was gonna say, I think Oliver has been on the podcast like once or twice before, maybe just once, but you couldn't answer that question for me now that you can hear me now.
Yes, I can hear you again.
Oliver has been on once or twice before?
He has been on, I think once.
Once when we had your sister on, but I don't know if you recorded at your sister's place a separate time without her.
I don't think I did, but he may have been at someone else's house with me before when I recorded.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well.
He's noisy. He can't help it.
Oh, it's fine. We've had worse noises. Way worse. We need to talk about Alone. So for those of you who don't know what this show is.
We need to.
Which maybe a lot of you, because I had no idea. Well, I kind of knew. Alyson and I were... we were watching a slew of strange things when we were together, and we landed on the last night this show called Alone, which I had heard of before, but had never seen, and you hadn't. And it's where these people are just like thrown into the wilderness with like a few things and like 6 cameras and like a satellite phone, and they're just like, whoever lasts the longest gets $500,000.
It's
like,
insane.
Wild. It tickles so many like different things for me personally. I don't know how many things it tickles for you, but we're both into it.
We're both into it, and it helps because I want to call them characters, but like contestants. Contestants. It's a contest, but it's not like they aren't like going head to head with each other. Like they don't see each other at all.
No,
in their wilderness, there's no other human interaction. Which
we'll get into today. I was gooped.
We will.
So we only watched 3 episodes together. I got my dad and my mom hooked on it when I was with them for like 2 days. And I think with them I only watched the first 2. So you and I had mentioned that we're going to do this, but we're going to do this one a week so we can like sort of chat about it on the pod.
Yeah.
So we just watched episode 4 separately. I don't remember people's names, kind of ish.
I had to like note their names because I'm terrible with names. This is like one of my worst qualities. You tell me your name and literally before I'm done saying nice to meet you, I've forgotten your name.
Yeah.
It's horrible. So I took some notes because I was like, I'm not forgetting their names.
Well, I was like, I don't know if I'll remember, but I'm sure we'll come up with nicknames for people that I'll remember that we call them that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Should we just start with the biggest aspect of the whole episode?
Jordan leaving.
Jordan. His name is just Jordan, but it's spelled Jordon. Jordan left.
I was shook because let me just say, he built the nicest shelter.
Incredible.
Now these people,
incredible log cabin,
have built some incredible shelters. He made,
which we'll get into also,
real life Lincoln logs. Like, cut the notches out.
They were
his
so
logs
so
fit
tight.
together so tight. He
So
made a
tight.
door. He hand carved hinges for his door. And a lock. He made a lock.
Yeah.
He found the perfect little logs with the perfect bends in them and took his little axe and his little saw and made a full home.
It was
shelves.
incredible. But now I realize why he did it. And that was because he
So sad.
like couldn't not do anything. I mean, so full disclosure, I like did the whole TV time thing that you and I used to do on the app that we did first 13 Reasons Why.
Mm-hmm.
And people were saying like, it's all like, someone said, as soon as I heard that he had a child who had passed away young, like I told my husband to take him off his top 3 because he wasn't going to make it. And I was like, these people must know, there must be certain tropes because this is season 8 that like people who build like some of the nicest shelters, apparently they dip out early or something like that. And I wonder if it has to deal with like the occupying of the mind.
It must be like they can't be still at all.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I was not expecting Jordan to go out. And like,
and he had just said how much the $500,000 would have like changed their lives or something. And then he was like, I'm leaving.
And his like, little vlogs were giving me life. He was legitimately like setting up his camera and then popping himself in front of the camera and being like, look at this house I made.
Yeah.
Look at my door.
Yeah.
It's lovely. He was so good.
My brain is like rotted from like editing and like just knowing how things are edited now as an adult that I'm like, I should have known something was happening because there was so much of him. Like we didn't see half the other contestants, but there are, well, now there's 8, but still. I was surprised by the people that we were looking at. I was so happy that Teresa, who said she's only been living in the UK for 11 years and has that whack-ass accent. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense.
When I heard her speak and we, in like one of the earlier episodes, found out that she's actually American, I'm like, her parents must have moved her to the UK when she was a kid.
Right.
So like,
it's giving that. It's giving like weird, I was 6 and then I moved and now I lived there for like 40 years, 30 years or something. No.
11 years and she just decided she's going to have an accent. Walter. She says Walter, but then like
her explaining it also, I was like, I don't understand what's happening. I don't understand what's happening. I've lived somewhere for 8 years, 7 years, and I don't even have that kind of a thing. I'm not out here saying things like, hello, how are you?
She absolutely 100% was like, I want to make myself sound more fun. I live in the UK, so I have an accent now.
It was giving that. Very much gave.
She made a pit house. And
let's talk about the pit house. I had been missing it for a whole episode.
We have to talk about the pit house. Okay, so before this, I didn't even know what a pit house was. I didn't know that was a thing.
No, of course not.
We're
not Stone Age experts like she is.
Exactly. You dig a hole in the ground, and then you build like, so your house is like half underground. And it'll keep in all the heat and the warmth, and it'll keep out the wind. And she's got like
a roof.
A roof, but there's a pole in the center, and then all the smaller logs go around the outside.
Yeah, I think at one point also
like a conical roof. She's got a conical roof.
Yes, but there was an annex too that was not.
Yeah, because she's gonna build a fireplace in there.
Not a teepee, but a lean-to type sitch.
Yeah. So she's got a space for that. She's gonna build a fireplace with a chimney. She made a bed. She made a whole bed.
Well, I was noticing that a lot of people apparently were making beds, which makes sense.
Off the ground. Yeah. Except that one. What was that one guy's name who built his boat? He just sleeps in a sleeping bag. But Colton. No.
Isn't it Colton?
I might have it. Coulter.
I was close.
Coulter, you were close. Coulter. Let's talk about Coulter because
Wow.
He built a boat.
The boat was wild. The boat works very well, which is also
outriggers.
wild. I was blown away. Blown away.
He carved oars that look like oars you would buy in a store.
Well, we watched the one where he made the boat, and I was like, this boat doesn't look too great, but those oars look fab. But the boat has improved.
The boat has improved. He's making improvements. He added little outriggers, like mini boats to each side so that it wouldn't be wobbly.
Also, we got to talk about how he was butt-ass naked and that bear almost ate him.
Okay.
Wild.
Insane. Wild. They keep saying like this season is the most dangerous yet because apparently this like lake that they're on in British Columbia is like bear central, grizzly bear central. It's just swarmed with bears, right? So they gave each of the contestants like, what do they call bangs? Bear bangs? Bear bombs?
Spray, and they have
spray, and then the noise makers.
Clinks.
It's like a noise maker, like a little like.
They sound like those little like pétards or whatever they're called. You like
yeah. I don't know what they're called, but so anyway, he's butt naked, right? He's just had a successful run in his boat. He was like doing circles with his paddles, living his best life, and then he was like, "Okay, I'm filthy. I need a shower." So he
almost got eaten by a bear.
He gets in the lake. He gets out. He's nude, and this bear is coming for him, and he's like, "No bear." No bear.
He keeps saying no bear, which like I get, but
bear.
Sounds ridiculous.
Which I'm like, hello. If he listened to our podcast, he would have heard that episode where I had the dream about like go away bear, and maybe if he had said that, the bear would have listened to it. Anyway, he's letting off these noisemakers, right, that are supposed to scare the bear away, and the bear just looks at him and is like, I'm just gonna keep coming. I'm coming over.
Yeah, he looks like he's gonna dip like twice, but he doesn't, and then eventually he does, but. Wild.
Eventually the bear goes away, but I was like,
of course he was naked. It was so funny. And then the only other thing is that guy from Michigan who like fucked up his pier, which I was like, what is this pier situation? And then it made more sense when he like finished it. It was like
oh my god,
I don't know what you call that.
Built a pier. These people are insane. They're building full log cabins. Piers, boats, pit houses, and they just get to bring like one pack with a limited number of supplies.
10 supplies.
10 supplies. So it's like, what do you bring? Do you bring a knife? Do you bring an axe? Do you bring a saw?
I don't know. The whole equipment thing like still kind of confuses me because like we're new to the show, but it's intriguing. I'm intrigued. I'm excited to see what happens in the next one. I know we're gonna see like the whole other cast and crew of people, but.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm fascinated.
I don't know. We don't have too much time up top left, but do you have anything quick that you want to update me on? I have nothing going on.
One thing I want to share, and it is because I am so proud. So as you know, as everyone knows, we're Duolingo daily. We're always on the Duo. Always taking language lessons. I report everything, okay? You know, they have like the option where you can report it if it
like never does anything.
If it marks you wrong and it should be right, or if it's something ridiculous that doesn't make sense. I report stuff all the time. I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Finally, I don't even know how long ago I reported this one because I forgot all about it. They finally accepted one of my changes.
So what does that mean?
I die. So like, the answer that I put will now be accepted as a correct response.
So you don't get like retroactive, like anything.
No. Nothing retroactive except like vindication. So what it was okay. So it was translation. They give you the Italian, you translate to English. So it was like, lui mette giù la rivista. So
he puts down
the magazine.
Right.
But I put in, he puts the magazine down because that's how I would speak. Like if I was saying that, like, oh, he put the magazine down. I don't think I would say he puts down the magazine. But before that was the only one they accepted, right? So they
You want to know why that's the only one they accepted though? I'm proud of you. Love that for you and for the community that you're fostering. But proud, very proud. But do you know why that's the way it is?
Oh, I'm sure that's proper English and the way I say it isn't. But
I'm wondering if it is, but it's definitely because it's probably in like an idiom section where, you know, it's like you put up, put down, put aside.
It wasn't with the idiom.
Or is that an idiom? I never know.
No, that's not an idiom.
What are those called?
directions? I don't know.
No, they're like a type of verb because like it confuses like
Transitive?
no.
I don't know anything. I'm just throwing words out there, but I know it's not an idiom.
Is it? No, idioms are like, what is an idiom again?
Like a...
You don't even know. You said no, it wasn't an idiom. You don't even know what an idiom is.
I can't give you a definition, but I can give you like an idiom. It's like a weird saying that like in any other language it probably wouldn't make sense.
Like it's raining cats and dogs.
Yeah, that's an idiom.
Okay.
But how would you explain that? Like, how would you use that to define idiom?
An idiom is a phrase that uses a colloquial idea to convey a meaning.
Okay,
that
stop.
Doesn't
Let me just stop you
translate
right there
directly.
because mine was more accurate. A group of words established by usage as having a meaning, not deducible from those of the individual words. So like I said, it would make sense in one language, but if anyone else were saying it, it wouldn't make sense. The example, raining cats and dogs.
My example.
Your example.
Yes, let's get that clear.
Yes.
The teacher's example, okay?
The teacher's example, the pupil's definition.
There you go. There you go. A collaborative effort.
There you go. We're so good at this. That's why we're partners.
This is true. I am drinking a limoncello La Croix for the first time ever.
I was gonna ask. Okay,
It tastes...
what are your thoughts? Because I have thoughts on that.
On La Croix? Or LaCroix,
on
whatever
that
the fuck it is.
flavor.
I don't think I've had LaCroix. Is it LaCroix?
That everyone here says LaCroix, but I can't say that.
I thought it was supposed to be LaCroix,
myself.
and then everyone was like, no, it is LaCroix because it's like Canadian or something. And I was like, I don't
but
fucking know.
French is Canada's official language alongside English, so why wouldn't they pronounce it correctly? Aside from the whole Quebecois thing, like
Yeah, the whole
all that
accent
aside,
thing.
they wouldn't say LaCroix.
I don't know. I don't know shit about that. But
Anyway.
I don't know when the last time I had one was, because also now that there's so many different types of seltzer, I missed the seltzer explosion in the US. So like when I came back, everyone was drinking different ones that aren't this. I've never had them really. This one tastes like lemon cake, like lemon frosting.
Isn't it weird how sweet
wild.
it is?
It's wild. It's not good.
I was not expecting that. When I bought that at first, I was like, this is going to be so good. Like a spritz of lemon in here. I drank it. I was like,
no.
This is like sugar.
But then I remembered LaCroix flavors are all kind of weird.
Yeah. I don't drink it that often.
Exactly. But I remember people being like, oh, these taste terrible because we were young and didn't like seltzer really.
Yeah.
But now I think it's like they're like weirdly specific flavors. I think.
Yes.
I think
they just do their flavors poorly. Like limoncello.
This also doesn't even taste like limoncello.
It should just taste like really like I feel like strong lemon.
Yeah, it should taste like lemon, but it tastes like lemon frosting.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Anyway, it's
Speaking of food,
we have a really fun food message when we come back from this break. Hello everyone, Alyson here. Just wanted to say that we want to hear from you. So send us a message at 202-630-4509 or email us at amessagefrompod@gmail.com. Also, don't forget to rate and review and check out amfpod.com for bonus content. Now back to the show.
welcome back from the break. For the second time, we technically had technical difficulties.
Major.
But we didn't lose a lot. We didn't lose a lot. All we lost was Elisa's gorgeous message, which we're going to listen to now again.
Hey y'all, my name is Elisa. Edward and I met a few years ago when we were both living in Spain. My question to both of you is, what is your best culinary experience or meal? This could either be in France or elsewhere. I'm someone who is very food oriented when it comes to travel. I think it's such a beautiful part of any culture. I don't think I have a favorite meal or a favorite type of food. I've had spectacular meals in Mexico City, in Madrid, in various parts of Italy, and other parts of the world. They're ranging from like home-cooked meals to very simple foods to fine dining, and I still can't name my favorite. So what are your favorite travel food moments? I want to hear them all. And thanks, y'all, and I'll talk to you later.
Thank you for sending in that message. It was lovely. And it gives me an incredible out because, I can't make a decision about anything. And if you wanted me to pick just one incredible culinary experience, I would not be able to.
No, you'd combust and die.
Head would explode.
You'd explode.
I travel for food, so how can I pick just one?
That's interesting. That's an interesting concept that I don't think I've ever thought about for myself. I don't think I travel for food. But that's not today's topic.
To travel for food.
Not today's topic. Today's topic is food. Finally, I have been dying to talk about food on the podcast for a while. So thank you, Elisa, for giving both of us what we want. An out and an in. So let me get to the tab where I wrote down all the fun food I've eaten. And I wanted to start with, in no particular order, none of these are ranked for you or for me. We're just beep-bop booping around in the 29 plus years of our lives for those of us who are older than 29. The first thing I could think of was actually food that I've had with Elisa.
Very
in
nice.
Madrid at this place called Ten con Ten, which I've been there only with her and her mother, and like other people, but like her and her mother, they're the staples. And they have this like truffle risotto that is. Ooh. I have a feeling we're gonna run out of words to describe food. It's gonna get a little repetitive, but it was like truly divine. And I'm not a huge truffle person. Like, people out here are like truffle olive oil on like everything, like truffle fries, like this, that, truffle pizza, and I'm like, not really my thing personally. I think it's like kind of overdone sometimes, but this was just the perfect amount. It was tasty. There's gonna be so many gross like chef like noises, but it was very that. It was divine, and it was not it wasn't a huge portion, because risotto's filling.
Very filling.
So good. So
lovely.
Good. All right, your turn.
Oh my gosh. Yes, my turn. So starting out with something super basic. This place called Bucharest Grill. It's in Detroit. Their chicken shawarma. I don't even eat chicken anymore, but
did you just recently tell me about this?
I did.
Okay.
I don't know why we were talking about it, but like either. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And I'm sure people will argue with me on this and fight me. Like, in this area, there's so many different places you can get shawarma, but it's so good. It's just the pickle in there is perfect. And then like the
shawarma usually
the garlic
with pickle?
sauce. Yeah, you get a pickle. Because I get the pita, like the wrap. You can get chicken shawarma and it'll come just like on a plate, like a meal. Or you can get the wrap and the pita.
I don't think I've ever seen a shawarma that comes with pickle before.
They put a long, skinny pickle on there, and it's so good.
That does sound good, but that sounds like an Americanized thing.
It probably is.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
I was like thrown off because I was like, I didn't know that pickles were that much of a thing, but I don't.
Oh, so good. And like, pickled veg. I love pickled vegetables. Anyway, back to you.
Me. Okay. This place I have been to like almost double-digit times, I'd say, and I've only been to this city twice. Oh. It's in Krakow. Okay. It's called Polakowski Restauracja. It's like on the way to the Jewish Quarter in Krakow. The 2 times I've been to Krakow, I went at least 2 or 3 times to this place. It is so sorry. There's something in my eye.
Pause.
Sorry, everybody. I was getting really worked up, and then something came into my eye.
It's just the tears thinking about the restaurant.
Yes, I mean, if I could go back now, I would. It's like nothing particularly like fancy or like quote unquote special. It kind of has like just all types of Polish food. There might be like 2 or 3 things that are kind of like specifically from Krakow or the region, but for the most part, it's just like Polish food, and it's not like a sit down waiter situation. There's like there's where you like order food.
A window where you order.
Kind of a window, but it's like inside. It's a sit down restaurant, and you like order, and they sort of like just you pick it up there. There's like kind of like a hot bar for like certain foods, and then certain things come from the back. Okay. But my like top 3 things there are the gołąbki, which are like the cabbage rolls with rice and beef, are so good there. The żurek, which is like sour like a sourdough type soup, but with a scoop of mashed potato inside. That's the way I like it.
Ooh.
So good. And obviously the pierogi there, very good. I've had like savory to sweet there. Divine. There's like 40,000 sauces. I don't know what any of them are. Everyone I go with always asks me, and I never know. But they're all very good. And I seriously have been so many times. This was like a rec from like someone years ago. I want to go back.
And it was
so
good.
Bad. Yeah, it was good. Okay, your turn.
My turn. Up next, I have a place that we went together.
Oh.
You and I. And Pilar. We went to Belmondo in Madrid.
Oh. Yeah.
It was so good, from the atmosphere to the decor.
So good.
Listen, everything is so good on this list. These things I choose because they're good. But I particularly want to say that their gazpacho was the best I ever had.
Look at that accent.
You taught me so well.
Yes.
You taught me so well. It was so good. And I remember looking at it in this little cup. It came in the cutest little cup.
Everything there was like very gorge.
Like ceramic with very like Southern Italy inspired design. And I just sipped that little soup and it was so good. It was perfect. It was like the perfect thickness, the perfect creaminess, the perfect seasoning. It was like this nice, beautiful orange color. Oh, it was gorgeous. Divine.
Like, I remember it being good, but I don't really remember anything about it. I don't remember what it tasted like, or like you saying like, oh, we had gazpacho. I was like, oh, I think we did. Yeah, like I don't remember. Not saying that it wasn't good, but apparently it wasn't memorable for me.
Well, it was memorable for me, and maybe this is because we went from drinking it out of a freaking cardboard carton at your house to like,
oh yeah,
fresh
you
made.
go to the store.
But I mean, everything there was good. We had I had grilled branzino. It was so good.
Oh, yeah,
the fish was so good. All the sides were good. We had apps. What apps did we have? I remember us we raved about everything.
Yeah, everything was good.
Was great.
I just don't remember specifics.
That like lemon meringue pie at the end, that was literally as big as my face.
The size of your head that we got two of. So mad at that waitress for not like
giving us a heads up.
Yeah, what a witch.
But
all right, back to me.
Back to you.
Okay, I'm gonna go next. I'm trying to think like, okay, I've done Madrid, I've done Krakow. I'm gonna go somewhere that's closed, which is unfortunate. It's a place in Paris that I went to when I first went, like in high school. We just like happened upon it. It's like in the Latin Quarter, not like towards the Notre Dame, towards the, what is that, the Assemblée Nationale, towards that way. Not that it's far, but if you're at the fountain if you're at the fountain Saint Michel, you go right, not left. And it's closed, and there's like some Middle Eastern restaurant there now, but it was just like your like classic like cafe, Parisian cafe, like Boulevard Saint-Germain-des-Prés, like that type of thing, where you would like flâner or whatever. But more low-key. So it had like a fixed priced menu that we would go and get sometimes when we were like feeling like spending money during study abroad. And by spending money, I mean we spent like 10 euros, which was different from our €1 paninis we would get on the other side of the fountain. But I remember specifically eating there like many like cuts of meat with like, you know, the fries, very divine. But the first time I ate there, I had like a seafood salad, pasta seafood, you know, with the misto, but that's not a French word.
Yes. Yeah.
And I remember being like, look at these little octopi, divine, very weird, because like I'm from Pittsburgh, we don't exactly eat like tiny octopi. You love
the tentacles.
Yeah, I mean, obviously octopus is so
tentacle.
Good. But these were tiny ones, not the big one I had when we were in Sea Chase. But I digress. Very good. Unfortunately, no one can go there, so kind of it's not a recommendation. It's more of just like a memory.
Well, that's okay.
I mean, I'm gutted. It's closed. I'm gutted.
It's fine.
You.
Next up, a recent one, Joe Beef in Montreal.
Recent.
Their menu was wild. It was insane. It changes often too. It's like whatever they've got, they change the menu often.
Seasonal.
But a staple, a mainstay of the menu is their lobster spaghetti. I did not get because I do not like lobster, but that was like very popular. What I got.
Oh, it was like, what is this doing on your list then?
I just had to mention the lobster spaghetti because people like go wild for that, right?
Okay, gotcha.
So I got this incredible halibut. It was Parmesan crusted. It had a lemon butter sauce and crispy little sorrel leaves. Oh, so good.
Sounds
but
good.
The most incredible thing there was the dessert. They had this strawberry cake. It was like layers of the lightest whipped cream I have ever tasted with like this perfectly moist but also very light just yellow cake. And the strawberries, oh my gosh, we all got this cake. There were like 8 of us there or something. We're all just like scarfing this cake.
Was it not like something you should not have ordered like 2 of? Like the lemon meringue.
Once we started eating it, everyone was like
it wasn't too big.
Not sharing. No, it was, and it was divine. It was so good. Oh my gosh. Like, I can't even, I have no more words. That whipped cream was so light.
I know. I really thought beforehand, I forgot to do this yesterday, to like look up a list of words to describe food.
Food words.
And I like completely forgot.
I mean,
so that was in Montreal.
Yeah, that was in Montreal.
Look at us, not repeating places. There is a repeat on my list, but I'm not going to say it. All right.
Oh.
Because I'm sure we won't get there. Okay. I'm going to divert from like food to desserts. No, that's a lie. I'm going to stick with food, but not like food.
Okay.
All right. This place is literally just called the Focacceria de la Piazza, which is just the plaza
Focaccia of the square, yeah.
Focaccia store. Like, I don't think it has any other name. I did look it up. It's in Chile Ligure, which is where I what's the word? Au paired for 2 summers. It was like when you walked out of the door of the building, because the building that the family has, or the flat that the family has on there, is in the piazza. It's like you could tumble out into the focacceria. So I knew when the hot times were because I was looking at it all the time, so I knew when to go and when not to go if I didn't want to wait. But their focaccia there was so greasy in a like,
good way?
I never want to not be greasy way. Like I would, if I could rub that on, I mean, I could have rubbed it on my face after eating it on my fingers.
The olive oil, just bathe in it.
Oh, that's the problem with a lot of focaccia. You're not out here dunking that focaccia in a vat of olive oil before you bake it. Baby, I don't want to eat it.
You have
and I'm
to
talking
pour
about
it on.
Italians in general. I had some
It should have
focaccia in
a
Torino.
puddle on top when you put it in the oven.
If I squeezed it, I want to be able to get half a bottle of extra virgin olive oil out of that. All right? I want to reuse, recycle, re-oil. But anyway, this stuff was so fucking good that I had to like truly like limit myself to what days I would go. I had a schedule being like, I'll go on like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I won't go Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday because I would have eaten too much of it. Obviously, shit tons of like varieties going on there, but my like top 2 were just like normal ass focaccia, divine, and then the focaccia di Recco, which I don't know if you've ever had, which is like kind of like a thin one.
It's super popular now because I don't know, people like found out about it, and so it's like all over Reels and TikTok now.
Well, it's worth it. It's worth the hype. But the one that I like is the one with cheese, the one with some stracchino on it. It's like that one is like you have to sit down and eat it, but people do be eating that out of a thing.
That's the one that like people are going wild over on TikTok.
I only found it my second year. I'm like pissed I didn't find it my first year, but it's fine. I'll go back eventually. Even if I just go to Geneva and just take the train.
Okay.
All right,
I will do something that's also not full meal.
Snacks. That's the word.
I'm keeping it to Canada. In
she's repeating.
Scarborough, which is basically Toronto, there is this place called Congee Queen. I'm obsessed.
Oh, I was like, don't know what that face means.
There is one dish in particular. Their turnip cake. It blows my mind. The first time I was in Toronto visiting a friend, Alex, she took me to Congee Queen. We feasted. We got this thing called turnip cake. I'm like, turnip cake? What is this?
Yeah, what is turnip cake?
It's like these incredibly soft and like almost creamy on the inside. It's like a turnip mash on the inside almost.
Okay.
But then on the outside it's like crispy fried. And then there's also like egg, and I think there might also be like shrimp in there as well. I don't eat the shrimp, but I can't find it anywhere else. I've literally asked people. I have searched every single restaurant around me. I cannot find it exactly the same anywhere else I've been. And
is it savory?
So good. It's savory.
Oh,
it's called like turnip cakes, but it's not dessert.
Right,
savory,
like crab
all the way.
cake.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Wow. Wow.
Every time I go there, I'm like, listen, we got to go to Concha Queen. I need my turnip cake.
Cuisine is it there?
Chinese.
So is this like a Chinese delicacy?
It's a Chinese. I think it's a delicacy. I don't know if anyone else would call it a delicacy, but the restaurant,
I mean,
Kanji
like
Queen,
Chinese
like
food.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So it's like
kanji is a Chinese like cuisine. Have you had it before?
Never heard of that word in my life.
It's almost like a rice porridge. It's like a jasmine rice that's like obviously cooked very long and slow in water, and so it gets like very thick, but then it's also savory, right? So they'll cook it with like seafood. You can get different seafood in there. You can get different meats in there. You could do just veg or just plain.
It's giving like risotto vibes.
Very risotto vibes.
Which also vice versa. Risotto is giving kanji vibes.
Yeah, exactly.
Love.
So good.
Oh my God, we're learning. I should write it down, but there's definitely not a place like that in Pittsburgh.
Okay, we each can do one more. Let's do this.
We got one more?
Rapid fire.
Okay.
Rapid fire.
This is like well, I wish I would have done this more as a meal, like started with the snack, like appetizer, then would have done the big things. Because now I'm on dessert. I'm doing dessert last. This place is, I guess I am repeating. I didn't think I would. Chile de Gore, there's a gelato place there, which like dime a dozen, right? Like not all gelato in Italy is good, but most gelato in Italy is good, you know how to spot like a good one, a bad one. This place called Il Gelzo, I think it's Il Gelzo. It's not Il Gelzo Nero. I don't know if that's a typo on their Google map. I never knew the name. I just know how to walk there. It is a if the Focacceria was a 2-second walk from the building, this place was a 30-second walk from the building. Like, this is not a big town, right?
Everything's
Everything's close by. So this place has a flavor that I thought maybe was like a thing in Italy, but one of the daughters was like, no, this is like truly just here. I've never had it anywhere else. It's like one of her favorites as well. It's called Cremino di Sicilia, but it's not like, it has nothing to do with any of that, like Sicily. It's just like pistachio flavored ice cream, but it's not pistachio flavored. I don't know. I think the cremino part of it is probably like some cream situation going on there, but it's like some of the creamiest pistachio ice cream I ever had, and it's divine, which is apparently the word that I'm going to keep using to describe things. It's I don't know. It's something about the creaminess of it that like all the time, and I'm a lemon / a pistachio gelato person. Like, I can't mix those together, unfortunately, but like I will. That's my thing. It's in Chile de Gore. So I don't
Go there one day, everybody.
Go, but don't go because maybe they'll raise the prices. Don't go.
Oh my gosh.
But this flavor, I like don't think I could find anywhere else.
Yeah.
So it's been a while.
So from a divine pistachio gelato found only in one place to a divine pistachio creme brulee that to date has also only been found in one place.
As of recording.
Yes, so there's this tiny little restaurant in the old town of Cagnes-sur-Mer in the south of France, which is where I worked. In their old town, you go way up there, and they have a tiny little square. So you've got like the old chateau, there's like a super tiny little hotel, and a couple of cafes and restaurants. So there's this one called Le Grimaldi. We stopped there. They had pistachio creme brulee that day. It was so good.
Oh.
Well, that's the thing is like it was their dessert of the day. So
you can get it every day.
I've never found another pistachio flavored creme brulee. Like, you get like vanilla and you get raspberry and sometimes the chocolate. I had a creme brulee flight on my birthday for dessert. 3 different kinds. divine, but no pistachio. And it was so good. It was so good. It was so lovely. The pistachio flavor was strong. It was just right. My dad also raves about it. Like it's not just me.
No, I mean, I fully believe it's probably very, very, very good. It's just
So good.
It's just funny the way that we describe things.
We have 2 words.
We have 2 words, divine and good. Like, you said moist at one point, I think. I think I said creamy. We said creamy. We both said
We're going to
creamy.
have no more listeners after that.
Yeah. Yeah, you said moist, and I thought to myself, whoa, oy, oy, oy. But you did talk about
How
cake.
else are you supposed to describe the perfect cake?
I don't know. I'm not out here usually describing the perfect cake, but...
Well, that's the name of the game today.
Actually, not true. Not the name of the game that we just played. I actually just thought of something that I should have brought up, but it's like totally fine. I will have to do it another time. Another time.
Because we're out of time.
We are.
That's all. So, if you would like to comment, share some of your favorite culinary experiences you've had in your lifetime, please. We want to hear about it. We love food.
We do.
Give us a call at 202-630-4509. Or if you're outside of the U.S., if you don't want to call, send us a message, send us an email, a message from pod@gmail.com, a message from on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, a message from _. Get in touch. We want to hear from you. So we will talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.